Hello and welcome to the Art Battle Midwest Regional Championship. We have 10 incredible artists here tonight representing at the easel, ready to paint their hearts out for the chance at going to the National Championship happening very this multi-faceted artist, incredibly detailed painting. We'll get this music sorted out. Yeah.
You're about to see this right now. You can already see the fingers moving. You can already see the energy. I believe the music is helping that energy. We're gonna go over to Heather now. She's already outlining the fox, I believe. She's already outlining that fox, the face of the fox, the facial features of the fox. It's just amazing.
welcome to the Midwest Regional Art Battle Championship event taking place in Chicago. We have 10 incredible artists here for you tonight, painting their hearts out in round number 1 right now. And only one artist at the end of the night will be crowned and will be moving on to the U.S. National Championship on April 2nd in Wichita Falls, Texas. And that person will be representing Midwest region, the Midwest Art Battle region. Once again, this event is taking place in Chicago tonight and is live right now. And you are going to help us choose the top 2 artists from this round in just a few minutes. And make sure that you go to artbattle.com/vote because your vote will count. And here we have Michael J Mayosky working on the floor now. Michael historically has always been a really involved painter, very performative. And we can see that we're getting that from him tonight as well. And I don't think I've ever seen Michael do a painting that didn't end up on the floor at some point. He likes to use the floor to kind of ease the directional pressure for the paint so that it's less likely to move. He has a little bit more control that way. And then he also loves to flip it around and have the control of sending the drips in different directions. And here we have Cheerie Joy working on her piece, and I believe that she is going to do something pretty close to her signature style, which is really working with light and gradient and contrast. And we can already see her working in this kind of blue gradient right now, and then sending some brush strokes outward, creating that sense of movement from this negative space off center of canvas. And here we are with Heather Olsen, and we can see this just beautiful fox painting that she has going on right now. Heather is a really wonderful painter with a very naturalistic style, creating these very real animals and portraits, but still in a very painterly style. And back with Michael J Mayosky here, and he seems to be just grooving to the music in the venue. And Michael is one of the most fun artists to watch, I would say. He's always got something up his sleeve and just is very joyful to watch while he's painting. And here we are with Arturo, creating this kind of surreal landscape, this character emerging from this rock face. A very interesting choice and a kind of complicated composition to be executed in this timed round. And with 10 minutes only remaining in this round, we can see that Cheerie is really creating a sense of place here. And with this column of light emerging onto this black plane in the foreground. And here we are with Cassandra Gelmanovich, and Cassandra has a really interesting paint style. She loves to paint with her fingers and get really involved into the feeling of the paint, and also really involved into the emotional quality of the artwork that she's creating. She often describes herself as an energy artist and creates energy portraits that have a huge textural component and a lot of directionality in their line work, kind of using her fingers to create that texture. And what is she adding here? I feel like I want to say it might be a whale tail, but that might just be my love of whales coming through. Wow, Heather's approach here to this fox is just so special. It's so considered, and looking at the clock, we have to remember that this is, at this point, this is a 12-minute painting. So impressed with Heather's ability to execute not only a very realized piece in only 12 minutes, but also her careful attention to light and shadow and the way that light is hitting this fox here. And back with Michael J Mayosky. And another thing that I really love about Michael's work is that there's often a surrealist quality. I've seen him do some kind of chrome robotic looking people before, and it seems like that's what we're getting treated to here tonight. But there's never an ominous quality. There's always a sense of curiosity in his characters, not necessarily these robots that you would traditionally think of maybe as exuding kind of a menacing quality, but not Michael's. Michael's just really bring you into their own world. And this piece from Arturo is so interesting. This character emerging from the rock face with these really super exaggerated features, and in this very natural palette style, very true to life in the way that he's representing the colors, and then giving us this curveball element with this super surreal character emerging from this rock face. And we've got 6 minutes left on the clock. And a big reminder to everyone out there to make sure that you head on over to artbattle.com/vote and register to vote for these artists. The top 2 artists, as voted by you guys, will move on to the third and final round. So if you're loving any of these pieces and you really want to see this artist paint again, vote for them and you will see them paint in the final round if they collect enough votes. The contrast here that Cheerie has gotten is really beautiful. This super stark black against this wash of cerulean that is leading itself into this white space. And this is a really interesting technique, leaving all of this white space and allowing that to be the focal point. Usually negative space is something that would be surrounding the composition and then something to deal with from there. But Sherry is using the negative space here as her focal point. So really interesting approach here. And back with Cassandra and her finger painting. And we did get the whales that I wanted. Sometimes you make a wish in art battle for how you want a painting to go, and you get your wish. And I'm getting that with Cassandra right now. I'm loving this piece. The textural quality is wonderful and is really true to her studio style, in that she's using her fingers to establish all of this texture. And you're also getting a really good sense of energy as well. This piece is reading very calm to me. And back with Heather Olsen now. The very careful rendering of this box that Heather has going on right now is just stunning. The establishment of the lights and the darks, just a beautiful contrast, and then the tighter detail into the eyes. The way that Heather has approached this is almost she's concentrating the level of detail in the smaller aspects of the face, the nose and the eyes, and then is allowing herself to become a lot looser throughout the rest of the painting. And it's really bringing that kind of expressionist energy to an otherwise very realistic piece. Back with Michael here, and this beautiful representation of metal in the figure here. And something that Michael also really specializes in is capturing the shape of whatever he's painting. You're really getting the sense of volume here and the roundness of the figure's head, just in his careful rendering of highlights and gradients there. And Michael is just rocking it out as well, really enjoying himself as he's painting. Always love seeing that energy, especially in these championship events where these artists have been anticipating and building up to this event for some time. So Michael is really bringing us that celebratory energy. Wow, Arturo's careful rendering here. I'm really enjoying the washy aspects of the sky, creating that sense of distance with those purples and blues, and then bringing us a lot more sharpness in the foreground with that rock face. And now we're getting these striations of light coming from that white focal point with Cherie. And brushes down. And that concludes round number 1 of the Art Battle Midwest Regional Final. The top 2 artists as voted by you will move on to the third and final round to paint a second time, where they will get a brand new canvas and we'll battle it out again, once again, for your votes, where one will emerge victorious to represent the Midwest region in the U.S. National Championship. We will be right back with round number 2. So don't go away, and don't forget to cast your vote. We are just watching our artists setting up for round number 2. We have Lauran Hon, a Chicago All-Star, Amanda Fairbanks, winner from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Our artists just getting ready for round number 2. We have, once again, Lauran Hon, who is a Chicago All-Star, Amanda Fairbanks from Grand Rapids, Anthony Valenzuela, a Chicago winner, Saul Palos Rodriguez, another Chicago winner, and then Jana Hope, representing from Denver as well.
yours for acrylic expert, Anthony.
Great job, Anthony. Let's get to it. Our wild card over here from last time. Our wild card won last time at the last art battle. We're glad to have you here, Saul.
This color creates large scale murals and intimate oil paintings in a distinct hyper-realistic style. At Eagle 4, we have Spin's very own Saul!
He also works here at Spin
Saul out there. Saul was actually one of our first winning wild cards. So, just to give y'all a little context, this colorful creator specializes in studio art, murals, live painting, and art education. At Eagle 5, we have Jana Hope!
Jana Hope over here.
And with that being said, it's time for round 2.
Round 2.
All right, are you ready? Artists, are you ready? All right, you guys know the deal. If we can have all of our guests stand up and help us create this tornado, taking that kinetic energy. So, we gotta get this moving. On your mark, get set, go. 20 minutes.
All right, fans. America coming out to a great start. Spray painting the canvas on water, I believe.
Have 20 minutes.
We already got it going.
Clock for round number 2 of the Art Battle Midwest Regional Championship. One
already adding the
artist
blues.
from tonight
An
will
amazing
emerge
start here.
victorious to represent the
Moving with the
Midwest
brush. We
region
already
in
see a light
the
blue
U.S.
as well.
National Championships coming up on April 2nd in
This is
Wichita
Amanda
Falls.
Fairbanks.
These artists in round number 2 have
Anthony
20
Valenzuela
minutes,
is already
blank
back to the
canvas,
corner of the canvas at the
and
top
their
left
courage and
and the top
creativity,
left
and they're battling
this
it out
canvas right
for
over here.
your votes to move on to the final round. Top 2 artists from this round, as well as the top 2 artists from round number 1, will move forward into the third and final round, where they will be given a new canvas and receiving paint again, and that's where the final winner will be chosen.
We already
Trying to determine who this artist is. We're getting this circular gradient happening. Okay, Anthony Valenzuela. And he is our November 2021 winner.
Oh, Saul is using the towel method here on this canvas right over here. This is the last time. Saul used the towel method to finish up, like covering all the rest of the canvas. Actually, all
And
his
looking
canvas
like we're getting,
is wild card winning canvas. So I already love the approach that Saul
Of
is
yellow
doing.
on this canvas happening here, and this is a really interesting application.
Saul's already tackling the
Red.
corners as you see here. He's already covering up the whole arch.
And also
here.
treating the edges of the canvas too. I love that aspect of this move here.
You already
It's
see a little
really
brown
cool.
going on over here.
If you know the words, Chicago, what do you mean?
And
Hey,
this
DJ,
is Saul
can you turn that up a little bit?
Rodriguez. And he is our most recent winner for Chicago, actually. Just won very recently last month in February. And Saul is really well known for creating some super emotive portraits that are just
Let me hear y'all clap! Let's go!
really have
Here we go!
Jana Hope is already
Let's
here.
make some noise for our artists wearing blue! Already in the head!
He's already tagging the canvas. Already an amazing, energetic start here at Art Battle Chicago.
And we're just getting started!
These are the colors that
She
Jana
often
Hope is
If I didn't
using
do
to
a
start
good
the
enough job
canvas.
at choosing myself, I ain't gonna
with
and I'm gonna see for tonight.
wild colors.
We
It's
ride!
really awesome, descriptive of her work, and I can't wait to see where she goes with this.
Next up, we got Lauran
Hon
Hon over here. These are the colors that Lauran is using for this canvas.
And here we are with Lauran Hon, our another Chicago All-Star. And something interesting that Lauran was telling us about in her application originally was that she used the pandemic to brush up, haha, pun intended, on her plein air painting, which for those who don't know is painting in the open air, aka painting in the actual environment. So she was going to different parks and capturing those immediate scenes. So she has had a huge amount of live painting practice. And 15 minutes remaining. We are just 5 minutes into the second round, and definitely want to take an opportunity to let you guys know that you are responsible for voting for these artists. So make sure that you go to artbattle.com/vote to register. And all of the works created tonight are also available for silent auction, and we do a really sweet flat shipping deal. So get on that. Interesting technique here from Amanda, using what looks like cellophane to create this texture amid the washes that she's created so far. Not a technique that you often see, but I love seeing unconventional items used to create texture in a stamping technique. And here we are with Anthony. And we can see that he is also using his fingers. In round number 1, we had a finger painting artist as well, and Anthony may have been inspired by that. We're seeing that he's very quickly dabbing and swiping these colors on, and I have to say, I love that this is so performative. Everyone right now is that's checking out Anthony's work is just getting that little sense of delight. Once he starts moving into using his fingers and kind of bouncing them on the canvas in that way. Oh, and now he's using his brush as a ruler, as a straight edge, to draw into the negative space that he had created already. Wow, that's a really cool technique too. What an interesting performance style from Anthony. Really, really enjoying watching him work. All right, and Saul. So we're seeing where he's going from the kind of buttercream background that we saw, and we're seeing him working on what looks like a large eye that is taking up the canvas. And he's using an absolutely huge brush to get this soft gradient. And once again, I love that technique. That's so cool. And here we are with Jana Hope again. And it looks like we're seeing a little red squirrel hoarding all of their nuts. And this is so fun. I love this piece. It's already giving us such a sense of whimsy, and we're only 8 minutes in. The highlights on the fur in this squirrel's tail is awesome. And kind of the abstraction of the green in the background is giving us forest vibes without having to really explicitly be that. So it looks like Lauran Hon is maybe perhaps doing a self-portrait. We're definitely getting a painting of an artist at an easel. That's cool. I really enjoy the referential quality of this. And the surprise has been revealed. If you look just past Lauran there, we can see that she's actually painting her fellow competitor, Lauran. So much fun. You can see her brown apron in there. Brown painting apron. I wonder if we will also get any of the crowd elements, or if this is going to be a single figure portrait. So she's actually taking Lauran out of the competition and into her own space. Oh, sorry, she was painting Amanda. And here we are with Amanda here, and we're getting this sweet figure, very childlike, of a figure in a little yellow raincoat, looks like. Perhaps blowing the petals of a flower into the wind, and that this figure is so small is quite the challenge in itself, but the way that Amanda is executing this is very narrative. It's got a wonderful storybook quality to it. And the petals just blowing into the wind there. And from Anthony, now it has been revealed that this is definitely a tribute to Chicago. And I know that you can't necessarily see the bean from the water, but I love that that Anthony has put in the famous Chicago silver bean in there as well. That's so much fun. Really honoring what Chicago is so known for, its beautiful architecture. Wow, these gradients from Saul are just so wonderful. And he's achieving that with this absolutely massive brush. And he's using a dry brushing technique, which has got to be a little bit difficult in this time setting because all of the paint that's been applied you would think would be so wet. But what we saw Saul doing earlier was wiping on the paint with a rag, which helped to take away a lot of the moisture that would have been left there and is leaving mostly just the pigment of the paint on the canvas. So that was a really smart technique in allowing him to dry out the canvas so that he can then use this dry brushing technique, and it's just kind of buffing the colors together. Really smart battle approach. And back with Jana here, and we can see that she's now added these illustrative lines over top of the squirrel to really help us understand the different contours, and it's adding that illustrative quality. And now we're getting a speech bubble, so I wonder what message this little squirrel has for us. I wonder if it's going to be writing or if it's going to be pictorial. Writing can be very difficult to do in these timed settings because it's so specific. Almost looks like a crown. But I'm really enjoying the different techniques of this piece in the contrast of the smooth black line work against the more painterly approach in the underpainting. Oh, and back with Lauran Hon, and she is painting Amanda. And now we can see that she's added the crowd in as well. And that's quite the challenge. That's a lot of figures to work on in a 20-minute time space. And she's only been working on this for 14 minutes. And already she's really established the energy of the room, as well as her main focus, which is her fellow competitor, Amanda. And we can see that Amanda's having a ton of fun tonight, just kind of grooving to the music. And Amanda has traveled to Chicago for this event and is representing Grand Rapids, Michigan. I love the way the petals being blown into the wind from this figure are now increasing in size and are serving as this kind of spiral to like bring us into this piece. And back with Anthony here. Really enjoying the blue gradients here being mixed with these yellows to kind of produce these green tones that are still very muted, but are kind of communicating that electric light at night. So just less than 5 minutes on the clock. It is crunch time for these guys. They are completely established in what the piece is. And now it's just a matter of honing and really tightening those works up. Hopefully not making any rash stylistic decisions that would change the outcome at this point. Oh, and now we're seeing Saul changing from his dry brushing technique into a wet and is adding his highlights in now and just making the contours of that eye pop. Such a fun piece from Jana, and again I have to highlight the quality of this piece in that there's a lot of painterly work in here, evident brushwork, heavy highlights, and the way that she's blending the colors as they are on the canvas, but then you're getting that juxtaposition of the illustrative quality with those black lines. This is a really modern piece and is also a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, Lauran has captured the energy of the room really well in this piece. And I think that her toning of the canvas was a really smart move because it means that she doesn't have any negative space to contend with. So what I mean by that is you're looking at this piece and you see these peach tones surrounding some of the figures. And that's because Lauran toned the canvas with that peach to begin with and then was painting over top of that. So that really allows for a lot of kind of forgiveness in terms of being able to work a little bit more loosely. 2 minutes on the clock. And I have to say, Amanda looks very finished. This piece is fully realized at this point. And is quite narrative in the way that it's communicating the story of this child, blowing the petals into the wind, and they're cascading towards us, the viewer, bringing us into this world. Wow, from Anthony, the addition of these white dashes radiating outward from the center is not a move that I expected, but it's really adding such a sense of jubilance and energy to this piece. It's almost looking like fireworks at night. You're really getting that kind of expansive quality there. One minute left on the clock. And 30 seconds only left on the clock. Look at the beautiful gradient quality of the skin on this piece from Saul. Almost reminding me of the smoothness of kind of a marble sculpture. And getting the finishing touches from Jana here. And a sweet little heart.
Rushes down, audience. And it's almost back. For the finals. We can be a little louder than that. Let's make some noise. Hold up.
An intense round, the second round in the Art Battle Midwest Regional Championship taking place in Chicago tonight. The top two artists from round number 1 and top two artists from round number 2 will move on to a third and final round with another canvas in the hopes of becoming the artist that is voted forward to represent the region in the U.S. National Championship. So we will be counting all of these votes, and we'll be back with the winner announcement very soon. And also in the meantime, I believe that we do have a performance, perhaps by a dancer.
Whatever happens, and best of luck to all the other artists. This was a great experience. Those 20 minutes felt like 30 seconds.
Thank you so much, Lauran. Best of luck, okay?
Thank you.
Best of luck to Lauran over here in Art Battle Chicago. We can already see Amanda Fairbanks. Amanda, how do you feel right now? How do you feel right now?
I'm so excited. This is so much fun. It's so much fun.
Can you tell us briefly what you painted?
I painted kind of like a childhood daydream. Just growth and dreams and ambition and what can come. And I'm going to take your painting. All right.
Great job, Amanda.
Clean up. Thank you.
Great job, great job. If you want to see Anthony on the finalists, please make sure to vote at Art Battle on the website on the click. Oh my gosh. It gets so exhausting talking a lot to the Art Battle fans out there. We're watching this live stream as we speak, but it's amazing. Oh my God. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Our battle fans, let's get ready for round 3. Let's see who's going to be our finalists here in Chicago. We can already see fans looking at the art pieces here. Fans here are looking to see the art pieces here that are made by the artists. So it's really amazing to see that there's a lot of love being shown here by the artists here in the city of Chicago. Of course, please follow us on Instagram at Art Battle Chicago. Again, Instagram is Art Battle Chicago.
Alrighty, I see a lot of you guys putting the Go ahead and do that now.
Look at this massive crowd. Fans, we have a lot of things right now. This is a amazing crowd here. Then we have our Spin. Our homies here. Thank you so much, Spin, for hosting us.
Hey, love you, Spin. Love it.
Love. As we can see, our battle fans, we see Saul.
Our final act of the night. This is one of my brothers. And I would like to say one of my mentors.
Our battle fans, we're about to enter this final showcase that we're having right here. Our battle fans.
We just dropped the project. And I'm going to have you talk a little bit about that. And it is spoken word. So I need every single one of you
We got
to lend your ears. And don't be scared. Step up a little bit. For my brother, Frankie Fairbanks.
We got Frankie on the mic.
Yo, real quickly, everybody that's in this room, if you can come towards me and respectfully be quiet, I want to share something with you. Come my way, please. Yo, real quickly, everybody help me, help us. I want to share a few things. Hopefully, it's something you guys can relate to. Real quickly, my name is Frankie Fabre. I'm a spoken word artist. I got a project on anywhere where you can stream music. I was featured on USA Today, Fox, all over. I do spoken word. I've been doing it for like 10 years now. And I just want to share a few pieces. But I'm gonna wait like 30 seconds real quickly. Everybody in the room, if you just kind of want to come close, I want to share this moment with you together. If you can get up, of course.
We're about to wait some 30 seconds here to see if fans can just come on board to see what's going on.
How's everybody doing today? You guys like the artists that I Yeah, I see some amazing paintings. These artists are amazing. So, just like the artists here who are painting, this is how they express how they feel, who they are. And anybody that understands poetry and respects poetry understands the differentiating factor in that is there's a lot of commonality in that. So this first piece I'm going to share with you is called Only a Woman, and I'll be honest, I've never performed in a place that's this loud. So typically, we do these, but since it's really loud, you can go ahead and clap. Real good. So this one's called Only a Woman. Only a woman can birth the spirit of heaven. Our access to heaven is a door to a woman's womb. Those butterflies you get are my feelings, wrapped in a cocoon. The beauty I see is hard to see for you. Offer no illusion. So your conclusion makes it hard to coexist. And to notice this, you must receive it with an open fist. Closing it removes progressive openness. And loneliness, well, that's a byproduct. So we buy products because I got it, but even those bags come with lies on it, because what lies on it are deep secrets with loud... Check. Because what lies on it are deep secrets with loud beepers. It's too loud alone. So the crowd... It's too loud alone. So the crowd gets deeper, and the truth gets weaker. So your wall gets deeper. And you don't know yourself, so I can't know you either. Always moving. Shorty, take a breather. You feel if you don't chase your dreams will leave you. But we're left with patience. So now you're a patient in a psych ward built by your own. Mic check. So now you're a patient in a psych ward built by your own hands. Void of purpose, looking for God's plans. And I'm damned if I don't do all that I can as your man. So I stand thinking I can't help. But what matters is how you feel about yourself. By yourself. See, that's the good life. When you can wake up with a smile and laugh through a good night. Because you shine like the sunrise and glow like the moonlight. But who's right seems to matter more. Bankrupt from your own doubt. That negativity you can't afford. So now you're bored and I'm to blame. Because you hate the shame of taking accountability, so you stay the same. I thought we rode together, but this ancient lady, you just ain't the same. Not the growing kind of change. You just ain't the change. That's why I kept it 100.
Amazing performance here by Frankie. Let's give it up for Frankie here.
So that piece right there is called Only Woman. I apologize, the mic is very bipolar. I got about 2 more pieces for you. This next one right here is called Here I Am. The actual project is on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, iHeartRadio, etc. It's featuring one of my close friends, Josh K, signed artist, rapper Fabulous, if you know who he is. Yeah, it goes this. Here I am. As I step out of my body to scope the scene, just to make sure I'm not chasing hopeless dreams. See, the hope in me is like dope in me. My brain gets a dose and releases dopamine. But at times, doubt gets a hold of me. It's like the yes I can becomes a no in me. It's like my fears be knowing me. So I deploy frequencies from a different me to transform chaotic energy into a peaceful symphony. See, my arteries are full of DNA that could part the sea and part the me. Sometimes I get ahead of myself because partially I deal with my pride and insecurities. And I try to protect that like a higher security, just to secure a higher me. But in reality, it only provides a tired me. Soon to retire me from this life on earth. But as soon as I understood life might hurt, I wasn't too concerned with my all-white shirt. And I started to dig away at all life's dirt, planting seeds, believing one day this all might work. And here I am, a man with his heart in his hand. Devotion was like an ocean, I'm sure, but now we're on the sand. And to build on top of that would be a suicide plan. Question. Do you ever feel lifeless? Like you just don't know what life is, but you hope it ain't like this? Trying to hold on to something, looking for guidance? Of course, silence. I try to add it up only to find out you were the minus. Your touch used to be the minus. We don't touch not even the slightest. I've learned the world we think we see outside of us is really inside us. And mine has been one hell of a ride. Because deep inside, I know I need to say goodbye. I tried. I will. I did. These are my thoughts naked before you without shame. I just wish I knew yours. But we aren't the same.
Whoa!
Thank you. You guys want to hear one more?
Yeah!
I appreciate that. I don't take nobody's time for granted, and I respect yours as much as you're respecting mine, so I appreciate that. This project that I just dropped in February is called Blue Nude, My Naked Thoughts. You can find it on all streaming platforms. My name is Frankie Fabre, R-A-N-K-I-E, F-A-B as a boy, R-E. My guy Valenzuela or Redzel, he produced Chan stuff, and Jenkins, he's my engineer, producer. So he did all of that work. So here it goes, this is the last one. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Last one here by Frankie. Fans, Art Battle fans, let's give it up for Frankie here.
This first class ticket got me feeling closer to God. Because from this perspective, you realize what's on the ground is a facade. You can't steal from me what I've given, but somehow I still feel robbed, used. This all seems odd. The connection passed inspection, but somehow I still lost the job. How can I be devoted for being devoted? Being silenced from being spoken. Being selected then unchosen. Giving vision but being hopeless. This chapter I'm living in has me questioning who wrote this. This message is encrypted. Can you help me decode it? Because I don't understand how we got here. Because right here, this space seems like light years from where I thought we'll be. One day you want to stay, the next day you want to leave. What to believe? I know I want you. But are you for me? I planted all of these seeds. I'm trying to grow like a tree with thousands of leaves. But now that fall's back, you're trying to fall back and give winter breeze. I know winter never leaves. I play to win. Championship rings. And yes, this thing's the pain it brings. I treated this life forever, but it turned into a fling. Became a nightmare, but was once a dream. How do we reconcile from all of these things? All of these cuts on my heart that it brings? I have to sew it together. Despite the weather, it gets cold, I've learned just to throw on a sweater and never say never. That's it. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate your time, your energy. Once again, I'm a spoken word artist here in Chicago. My name is Frankie Fabre. You can catch me on any platform. That's F-R-A-N-K-I-E-F-A-B-R-E. And real quickly, I want to give a shout out to my guy, Alan. I love you, bro. This man right here, this is what he does. This is how he moves. So, it's all about giving roses to any and every person that, you respect. So, because you never know that time comes, man. So, go ahead and make some noise for yourself.
Art Battle fans, an amazing performance here. Great job. We love to see it. Art Battle fans, let's get to it.
When we started hosting Art Battle, once again, my name is Alan, the official guy of a small cog in the machine we call Campus House. It is a community center that we built to do exactly. I want you guys to look around right now. Don't look at me. Look around in the room. Look at all the different people's shapes, sizes, colors. That's unity. That's community. It's communication plus unity. That's community, baby. I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause for being here. 2 years ago, they told us we weren't going to be able to do this anymore. They said we weren't going to be able to support each other. And that me and you don't look alike, so we can't be friends. And we can't agree. So understand what that is. Understand the power in every single moment y'all have. This is our battle. And we are about to get into the finals. Let's go!
We're about to get to the finals. If you haven't chosen who you want to see on the finalists,
DJ, give us some funky!
it's so tiring holding this.
Let it down.
I can't, I'm live.
Oh, damn.
This is final round.
Look at that to your neck.
30 minutes. The Eagles, the campuses,
This is here at our battle fans to see who you want to see. An amazing thing on our battle here.
Please make your way.
Make sure
It's that time.
I personally think Saul is my favorite.
If you hear your name, please make your way. Please make your way to the art table.
Come on, let's get to it. Come on, Benny. Come on, Benny. Let's start, Benny. Let's get to it. Our battle fans, we're about to find out who's going to win.
Come on, one. We gotta stop the music for this one real quick.
Our battle fans, we're about to find out.
Heather Olsen from round one. For our champion of champions, round one. Heather Olsen, you are in the finals. You will be at either one. Second, we have Arturo! So crazy. Round one, those are our pick. Arturo. Heather, if you can't make your way to the art table and start creating your palettes at this time. Round two, Chicago, you spoke. And we have Amanda! Amanda, go ahead. Make your way to the art table. You're going to be on equal 3. Oh, this one. A little different this time.
Amanda Fairbanks is the third one. Now we're about to wait for the fourth one right over
From
here.
round 2, we have Pittsburgh Saul!
This is about to get intense, our battle fans. We're about to see who's going to win.
Oh my goodness, please join us on the floor and help us create this tornado. This is the final round, and it will determine which one of these champions will be the champion of champions. One more time, let's make some noise for Violence! This is not just a drama.
We're still waiting for Saul.
I got to see a world champion last night. He goes by the name of Dragon 76. One of the
Amanda,
people that
Heather
ever bring up
Olsen,
some
and Arturo Aldama. Our battle fans, are you ready to see some art being created here in our battle Chicago?
Trying to figure out who's going up against the world champions. DJ, give him some something while we're waiting.
All right, our finalists have just been announced. Super, super exciting. The best artists from round number 1 and round number 2, as voted by the audience, have made it to the final, and the votes are in. From round number 1, we have Heather Olsen and Arturo Aldama. And from round number 2, we have Amanda Fairbanks and Saul Palos Rodriguez. This is going to be an epic round, guys. The talent in here tonight is just incredible. Once again, I love championship season. The quality of work that comes through in all of these championship events is just beyond. And so I'm sure that we will be treated to some beyond amazing talent tonight in the final round. So these artists have a larger canvas, and they also have another 30 minutes on the clock. That's right, we have 10 minutes added to the usual 20, so they better use them wisely. And this round come in right up after this very short dance break.
Okay. Intense battle between Saul and Fairbanks. We also have Arturo Aldama, and we are the Olsen fans. Are you ready to vote to see who's going to take Art Battles Chicago winner today? Umbrella's open in the indoor. I mean, what do you say about that, our fans? Come on now. Battle, my people. Amanda Fairbanks is getting her talents ready alongside with brother Olsen and Arturo Aldama. Alright, let's get this circle a little closer to our beautiful artists. And now, it's that time. Our battle fans, it is that time to see who's going to win the final championship here in Our Battle Chicago. Fans, we got some stickers here. If you're seeing this side, make sure to collect some stickers here. These are the battles that Arturo is using right now. Alright, on your mark, get set, go! Our battle fans, the final round of our battle here.
Alright, the final round has just begun. We have 30 minutes on the clock, a larger canvas, and yes, you heard that right, 30 minutes on the clock. These artists have another additional 10 minutes to the usual AB 20-minute round, so they better use those minutes carefully. I'm sure that they will. We are checking out from round number two. Amanda Fairbanks has made it into the final, and we can see that she's using a sponge application technique to create a lot of movement and laying the groundwork for her background with that blue there. And our artist, as voted forward from round number 1, Heather Olsen, she did that absolutely incredible fox. And we can see her reference now that we are going to be getting a peacock. And you can just see this this very careful, considered drawing technique that she's doing right now. Yes, it's with paint, but the way that she's applying it right now is in a very sketchy fashion, just kind of laying down the groundwork for that sketch. Oh wow, and Arturo has toned his canvas with this really warm brown tone, which is just going to create this warmth throughout his whole composition. Anything that he lays on top of that now, even if it's a cooler color, is going to be picking up a little bit of that warmth. I love seeing artists tone a canvas. I just really think that that's kind of an advanced move, but it also can provide its unique challenge in that you're working with a completely wet canvas as opposed to the dry primed white canvas. So that might provide a challenge, but I believe that Arturo knows what he is doing. Another toned canvas here from Saul, and I think that he has used the same technique, yes he has, with dabbing this rag and establishing his background with this dabbing rag technique. It's such a good one because it really absorbs all of that moisture and you're really left with mostly just pigment left on the canvas. Creates more of an opportunity for dry brushing. Yeah, zooming in close there. Not only has he used this rag to kind of wipe on this beautiful fuchsia color, now we're seeing him using it in a dabbing technique to establish some texture. And I'm really into the warmth of this palette here and the brightness of this pink. In Saul's last round that he just painted in, he had a very naturalist kind of palette, very close to life. A lot of beiges and warm browns and a few purple tones to establish some shadow. But here we're getting that pink. So I would love to see him just kind of explode into color. Either that or he's going to be layering a more realist palette over top of that. So can't wait to see where he goes with that. And here we are with Amanda Fairbanks again. Lots of great movement in the background and kind of this drip work coming through in the background. And we're getting maybe a little lizard in the center of the composition. A little gecko action there. That's my prediction. And back with Heather, and 4.5 minutes in, and you already are really understanding that this is a peacock. She's created a wonderful gradient in the feathers of the neck here. We're getting that sense of light on the chest of this bird already. Heather's so careful with the way that she blocks in her lights and darks. Really appreciate that. Just very carefully chipping those in. And back with Arturo here. And we're getting the proportions of the face. And he's established his major shadows with these brows and the ridgeline of the nose, the suggestion of the lips, and a little bit of that cheekbone shadow. Now going in with a bit of a darker brown. And I think that Arturo is playing with the midtones now. So I think that he's going to keep the higher values here as the background, at least for a little while, and is playing with the mid-tones, and is going to balance that out against some of the darker colors that he's just, like the brows that he's sketched in there. I'm really enjoying how much of a full body painter he is. You can really see him turning his body back and forth to get different vantage points with the brush. And back with Saul here, and this super vibrant pink red situation. And I'm wondering if we're actually going to be getting some sort of landscape from Saul. That would be quite the curveball for him, considering that I think the Art Battle audience knows him mostly as a figurative artist, and that he did a close-up of an eye for his first round. So this is very different, not only in palette, but also in subject matter. So are the audience going to come with him? Is his fan base that voted him forward on a very opposite painting going to come with him? I know that I'm really enjoying this piece. I'm a sucker for saturation, that's for sure. I think the mystery has been solved between the lizard and mantis debate. Us at Art Battle HQ have been trying to figure out Amanda's piece, and we're looking forward to rounding the easels again. And looks like we're getting a mantis, and the use of this green is always a challenging aspect at Art Battle, trying to kind of tame and not get muddy a really vibrant lime green like that. Sometimes that color does not like to play well with others, but the way that Amanda has started her canvas here in just having cool tones only and then layering over top, she's not getting any muddiness at all. So that will be her challenge, I believe, for the next 21 minutes. Oh wow, cool technique from Heather here in that we're seeing the polka dots of the plumage of this peacock here. And if I was approaching painting the peacock, I would have probably created the direction of the feathers splaying out. But I think the way that Heather has done it is so smart in that she's creating this roadmap of where the direction is going to go, and she's allowing for these dots to maintain their vibrancy by then connecting them together instead of painting them over top of something that already exists. So again, really careful planning technique with Heather. She's absolutely a very technical artist, and I always really enjoy watching her work. You're really getting a sense of volume here from the collar of this figure. Oh, and I love that our camera person has chosen this exact moment to be visiting with Arturo's easel, and we're now getting to see that this, what I had originally thought was hair, is some sort of animal headdress, and it just makes this piece so interesting. It really is very engaging. It takes it from being a portrait of a fairly feminine figure that we're looking at, and we're understanding it from a technical aspect and appreciating it from there, to bringing us into somewhere that's a little bit more thematic and is making us curious about the narrative of this character. Wow, Saul's technique here in just rubbing the paint and buffing it into his background is creating these beautiful soft gradients again. And this was a technique that we saw him do in his qualifying round. Very astute way of working in this timed challenge. It's always a technical challenge working with wet paint very rapidly. Any artists that use acrylic paint are very aware of the fact that one of the many benefits of using acrylic paint is that it dries so quickly and that you can layer over top of it and you don't have to wait large spaces of time for it to dry as you would with maybe perhaps oil. And so that's the real challenge in the art battle arena, is that your drying time is non-existent. So you have to be really careful with the way that you manage moisture on the canvas, and Saul is doing a great job of that. Amanda is as well. I think that she laid that wash on so early and in a very sparing way. Seems like she's mostly using the wash in there to just kind of establish that there is an environment that this mantis is in. Just getting those careful shadow lines to really delineate the mantis. Oh, and we just got a little bit of a view of the reference that she's using as well. And I love that Amanda is having so much fun right now. Once again, Amanda is representing from Grand Rapids, so she has traveled to Chicago to represent tonight. And I am glad to see that she is enjoying it. I know that we're all enjoying seeing her talent and courage and creativity at the easel, as we are with all of these brave artists tonight, and especially the artists in our final round. Heather Olsen. This is a really challenging subject as far as animals that you could have chosen to paint. There's just so many different elements going on with this peacock here. You have in the forefront, you've got the body of the bird, and then you have to establish the back half that is starting to expand the tail feathers, and the ridge work on there that she's done in this wonderful yellow, and then the explosiveness of the feathers, the large tail feathers themselves, and the way that they take up space and just radiate outward. There's so many different elements to deal with in this piece, and Heather has 15 minutes, almost 16 left on the clock to continue rendering. Arturo is such a painter's painter in the way that he approaches establishing these lights and darks, and that he's really great at establishing tone and understanding where the appropriate place is for his lights and his darks, but also does a great job of using them in a very shapely way. It's almost sculptural the way that Arturo applies these things. He's sculpting in sharp edges here and then softening them with a brush, and yeah, definitely a painter's painter. Oh wow, and Saul's piece definitely got a lot darker than we saw it last time. So now I think that he's added these darks over top and is using his brush again to create that texture. All of the groundwork that he had laid previously with those with that rose hue and the little touches of yellow is being put to use now to create that sense of depth. Now that we're adding the weight and darkness into the foreground. That's bringing us forward into the environment, and the lightness is helping us create a sense of depth. And where we had almost no texture in Saul's previous piece in the first round, he's now using this texture pretty heavily in this piece. Just really enamored with his different application techniques. And back with Amanda and her mantis. I feel like he looks a little bit friendly still. And she's done a good job working with the tones of this green here. And now we're seeing her mixing just a little bit of warmth in there. And I think that'll be a really good step in there. Some careful brushwork there, taking the mantis's antenna and bringing it towards the corner of that canvas. That technique really grounded the composition of the piece, I think, by bringing the creature more fully into the canvas. And speaking of a creature fully into the canvas, this piece by Heather is just evolving every time that we see it. And again, you're still getting that vibrancy from those colored polka dots on the feathers that Heather chose to lay out there. If she had done the plumage first and then tried to layer that red over top, it would have perhaps gotten muddy, or in the very least not have been as saturated. So really good planning work on there for her. Back again with Arturo. And I love the introduction of this turquoise coming off of the headdress here. This figure has so much presence. Yeah, the juxtaposition of that kind of turquoise color against the warm browns and reds that Arturo has is wonderful. Oh wow, we have quite the crowd gathered around Saul's canvas. Looks like he's got a little bit of a cheering section. And I have to say, it would be tempting to park yourself by Saul's easel, because the way that he's using these techniques is he's just keeping you guessing. Oh, wonderful. That super small addition of this green here, suggesting a sun. This palette is so interesting. This like pink to yellow to this bloody red, and then darker purples in the foreground, and then the introduction of this super neon green that is the same color as his hat too. He's his painting matches his outfit. And Amanda here still just honing the figure of her mantis here. She's really treated the mantis almost as if it's a portrait. Almost as if it's a human portrait. There's you're getting a sense of personality here in the way that she's framed this compositionally. And just about 8.5 minutes left on the clock. So we're just over 2/3 of the way through the third and final round of the Midwest Regional Championship taking place in Chicago tonight at our absolutely incredible venue there, Spin Chicago. It is a pinball or ping pong, ping pong venue. And as we're panning around the room, you can see that there's just so much art. There's so many murals here and paintings. It's a really wonderful environment to be hosting Art Battle in. Seven and a half minutes for Heather to finish honing this this very complicated subject that she's chosen, but the execution here so far is just wonderful. And in her kind of traditional, or in a style that's very true to her way of painting and her studio work, we're seeing more detail in the face and the focal features in smaller areas, and then as it expands, getting more painterly and more expressive. And Arturo here is now adding in the highlights onto the high points of the face. A highlight that a lot of portrait painters tend to forget is the upper lip, and the way that the upper lip kind of juts out a little bit and can contrast against the volume of the cheek. And he's done a great job of expressing that here. Very, very detailed. Saul has created such a soft painting, so much softness in its gradient work, but so aggressive in its palette and really aggressive in his application. He's just very rapidly rubbing his brush on the canvas, bouncing it. We saw him creating a lot of texture with a smaller brush, and there's so much going on. You just become really enamored of his painting style. It's very performative. You feel very involved in this piece as an audience member, and as we pan back, we see that there's quite the cohort behind him as well. Ooh, and a little bit of that yellow down at the bottom to add more brightness. Oh, more glitter. I say more glitter because this is the third championship event in a row that we've seen glitter enter the chat. That's so fun and interesting that this is the accompaniment that Amanda has chosen for her mantis. Watching Heather paint is so fun too, because you can see her stepping back every few minutes and making this kind of this face where she's assessing, and you can tell if she's happy or not. She's in the zone right now. She is in her own studio, at least for the next 4 minutes and 20 something seconds. Getting these additional highlights into the neck piece that's attached to this headdress here, and Arturo's doing a really great job again with the highlights in expressing the metallic nature of these kind of gold pieces that are on this sash. Arturo's sense of placement is really spot on. Wow, this scene from Saul is it's otherworldly, and the way that he's using this yellow here to really bring things forward is pretty masterful. The idea of space that I was talking about before, by bringing that weight of the purple into the foreground of the canvas, is now being balanced by these yellow highlights. This kind of desolate, dystopian, otherworldly space. Very, very into it. And really cool in how he's creating these sharp edges amidst so much softness that he's created before. I love a limited palette. Just again, love watching Amanda just grooving. And you can see the glitter just sparkling on her canvas. You guys gotta let me know in the comments, because I'm a little surprised to be seeing so much glitter in the last couple of championship events. It's welcome, of course. It provides a really interesting reflective textural component. But you guys got to let me know if glitter is on trend right now, and I just am finding out now. And Heather is using her rag to just put in some really soft highlight work. The level of saturation that she's got going right now with this blue is great, especially understanding that she's been using the same brushes for 30 minutes and hasn't had an opportunity to wash them. She's been so careful with not getting muddy at all. Ooh, these hits, these just little hits of contrast from Arturo, so carefully placed in our final seconds here. A painter's painter, I tell ya. All right, and I believe that we are starting to count it down.
The champion of champions. Make some noise one more time, girl, one more! At this time, we ask that you all put that link that you got when you arrived and go ahead and vote for your favorite painter.
Very quickly, how do you feel right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I was a little nervous at first, but then I loosened up.
Okay.
It's all good now, though.
Right. Do you have an IG page that we can follow here?
Yeah, it's ArtGod9 on Instagram.
Okay, for sure. Art Battle fans, give it up for Arturo Aldama. We appreciate you, and good luck. This is going to be a very close one, fans, as we have seen these amazing artists, Heather Olsen,
Heather Olsen. Real quickly, how do you feel right now?
There's still things I would like to do. You know, it's never enough time, but I feel pretty good about it. I feel all right. It was fun. That's all that matters.
Is there an Instagram page that we can follow you?
Is there what?
Is there an Instagram page that our battle fans can follow you on?
Yeah, it's just my name, Heather Olsen and Art, A-R-T.
Our battle fans, just give it up for Heather Olsen. We appreciate you. Good luck. All right, Amanda Fairbanks, our other finalist here at our battle. Amanda, you made it. You made it to the finals. How do you feel?
Feels good. Feels exciting. It's good.
For sure.
Now I can relax.
Okay, nice. Why did you choose a praying mantis?
I love praying mantis. They're weird, they're funky, but they're powerful and unique in their way. So it's a fun shape and gave it a little squinty eye because it's a battle. So why not?
Our battle fans, just give it up for Amanda Fairbanks. We appreciate you, Amanda. Saul, there's a lot of admiration for Saul right over here. This is an amazing art piece by Saul. Saul, real quickly, brother, how do you feel right now as you made it to the final?
I'm really excited. This painting was mostly focused on the things that are going on right now in the world. I wanted to focus on nature, but in a twist what's going currently, how people are being flown off and destroying other people's lands when in reality, I'm just trying to document but also make it pretty.
Saul, congratulations and good luck. Our fans, let's give it up for Saul, Amanda, Heather, and Arturo. This is going to be an amazing piece here. Make sure to bid, make sure to vote on your final four here at our battle. We see Saul getting a photo up right over here. This is what fans seems to be admiring the most. Amazing work.
It is so close. The favorite artist is over here. Let me say it one more time. If you don't vote, your favorite artist doesn't win. You voted already, right? Okay, did you vote? You said, oh my God, I didn't vote. You chose to vote. I'm trying to consider that really hard.
Our battle fans, let's make sure to vote on your favorite artist here to see who's going to the next battle. We already see the blue. We're having an amazing time here in Chicago. Don't forget, folks, there's some art pieces for sale. There's some art pieces. As you can see, it's a cello being auctioned off, and all the profits will go to Niles. So please make sure to see those too. Where's the violin? Where's the violin? The violin. Oh, right. These art pieces are also available for sale. All proceeds will benefit the Niles Elementary School. So please, our battle fans, let's make sure to support our schools as well. There's an enormous amount of crowd here.
I'm just hearing from our venue that there are only 5 more minutes on the clock to vote. So it is super, super important for anybody out there watching to make sure that you cast your vote. Your vote counts too. You will help determine who will be the champion tonight and who will be moving on to represent the Midwest region in the national championship.
kids you want to, come back and compete.
Is there an account that all battle fans can follow you on?
Yes, Instagram at Blue Libra, BLUELYBRA, Blue Libra, all together.
Thank you so much. All right, appreciate you. Art battle fans, we still have some time left to see who's going to be the winner of this art battle. Art battle fans, make sure to vote, make sure to bid. We still have time left to vote. It is an amazing art piece made by Saul. As you can see, there's a lot of beats out here. Beautiful pieces made by these amazing artists here. And of course, we got the vibes. We got the vibes here at Art Battle. Let's give it up for Alan and Penny. The bond between these brothers are amazing. We absolutely love to see these brothers dance. Alan, how do you feel right now?
I feel amazing. We just had not only just the art battle, but the art battle regionals. This is the finals right here, so we get to see which is the champion of all champions. And then the winner of this one goes and faces the world champions, bro. These are people who have been all around the world with art battle, who have been proclaimed the champions of the globe. This is different, bro. I love art, and to see the people that are this passionate about the art that we love, bro, like.
Is there an Instagram page that all battle fans can follow you on?
Absolutely, you can follow me at Instagram at Allen, ALLEN, the official. And make sure you also follow our community page at KNVS House and Art Battle. Make sure you battle. You know the vibe.
Alan, the official, is the host of Art Battle Chicago. Make sure to give him his flowers. Follow him on Instagram. We love you, Alan. Thank you very much.
The kid from Pilsen on the camera, by the way. This is one of the coldest to do it. I know y'all saw the quality difference tonight. I know you heard the audio difference tonight. That's the man taking care of all of that.
Alan, we appreciate you, brother.
We appreciate you.
All right, let's get to it. Art Battle fans, make sure to vote to see who will be the art winning battle here. Will it be Saul? Will it be Amanda? Will it be Heather? I'm so sorry. Or will it be Arturo? Art Battle fans, make sure to vote. Let's see who wins. It's a non-stop and there's a lot of animation here.
Okay.
Benny over here is having a great time here at Art Battle. The vibes are here, it's amazing to go.
Alright, it's that time to announce the champion of champions. Hold up, Chicago, I said it's time to announce the champion of champions.
Art Battle fans, it's time to announce the champion.
That's why everybody won. No. I said, make some noise when you voted. Make some noise when you auction on a painting. Okay, we got some money going out there. All right, guys. Well, they're not going to keep paying me to talk on the mic, so I'm going to just tell you. Our winner of the regional championship, Midwest Regional Championship.
Here we go, bands. Here we go.
Thank you so much, and I love, art battles are fucking amazing, and whoever's creative and wants to join, just do it because this might be you. You know?
great piece of the art battle.
If you guys have
And
anything in life that y'all want to do it. Do it.
Saul is the winner of the regional art battle. Do it, baby.
I'm already got this once again.
Saul is the winner of the Art Battle Chicago. Fans, we appreciate you being here at Art Battle Chicago. Until next time, this is the kid from Pilsen signing out.
And there you have it, our winner from the Midwest Regional Championships in Chicago. Moving forward is Saul Palos Rodriguez. A huge congratulations to him and to all of our competitors tonight. We are so grateful for everyone that painted in this round, that moved forward to compete with us tonight in this championship. Truly was a display of skill and courage. And the best artist won, rose to the top, and will be moving on to the Art Battle National Championship, U.S. National Championship, happening in Wichita Falls, Texas on April 2nd, 2022. So Saul, we cannot wait to see you there. And thank you again